What's up, you guys? It's Matt here. So I've built many exit plans that are out there. And if you guys want to build your own exit plan, feel free to check out my exit plan spreadsheet that I have over on Patreon. I typically grab a bunch of different coins, the information, and have a lot of stuff here. Let me go ahead and show you. I have a lot of stuff on here that for XRP, you can start out with whatever coins you have, and you can basically go down the list and say, I want to sell at $5, and you sell at $5. Maybe it's 100,000, right? It's going to get you $500,000 of realized gains. In the end, you're going to be able to see, what you can stack up as we get towards the end. I don't know what happened to this. I'll have to change this a little bit. It might have just messed up as I pressed something. Oh, there we go. But either way, you can basically have whatever profit you have down at the end. So feel free to check it out. Link is over on Patreon, where you can go through CRO, Jasmine, Elon, Lucky's Leprechaun, whatever the position actually is. You can go through all of those. And if you want to add some, we can always add some later. And, you can build your own exit plan there. But as I build my exit plans, I like to kind of paint a picture of how much I stand to gain from things. And when I looked at XRP in my last exit plan video, I said if I wasn't greedy, I can gain somewhere around $5 million from what I have in there. Now, where it stands right now, $5 million is not the 100x that we all wanted to see from there, right? If I looked at when it was at $50,000 or was at 50 cents, then I was able to basically say that could be a 100x from there, right? We could see it get to 500,000. It can get to $5 million. Obviously, we're at a higher clip. We're at a higher level, a higher balance right now. So it's not necessarily a 100x from here. But overall, if I look at it, I can assume that I will see somewhere around a 100x overall in cryptocurrency by the end. Now, you can look at it and say differently. You can look at it and say you're going to see a lot less. And if I do, then fine, right? The reason why I'm bringing this to the table is because I want to talk about what I could potentially do with the $60 million that I can make from cryptocurrency in the end, right? What I plan on doing with it afterwards, because I think that is where a lot of people's questions lead to. It's like, how much am I going to make when I do make that much? What do you suggest that I do with it? And this video is by no means telling you how or what to do with your money in any scenario, right? If you decide to sell early, if you decide to sell late, if you decide to sell at the absolute peak point. This video is not telling you what to do in that moment. But what it is doing is it telling you what I'm doing with my money, what I plan to do with my money. Now, before I get into this, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell for more of these videos. Also, make sure you check out some of the links down below. It does help out the channel. And if you guys want to follow me on Twitter, follow me on Patreon at Perry8K, you can follow me over there. And the links are also down there in the description. Also, at the top of the description, I have a link for BTCC, where you can get a 10% deposit bonus when you use my link, as well as extra bonuses up to $10,055, 40% lower trading fees, and you can trade all the way up to a 500x leverage if you want to. I never recommend that, but you can do it if you want to. But if you don't want to trade at any type of leverage, you can also buy outright. You can hold the position in your wallet over here on BTCC, and you can also leverage trade, or not leverage trade, you can demo trade to kind of practice your strategy. So a lot of things that they're offering, feel free to check it out. Link is at the top of the description. Now, the overall crypto market is sitting at a $3 trillion market cap. It finally got back to those points, being up about 2.65% today. We're also seeing Bitcoin's dominance that is increasing. It's at 63.72%. So we're still not seeing altcoin season. However, we're seeing altcoins that are moving a little bit, right? Bitcoin is up by 3%. Ethereum is up by 4%. We're seeing XRP, it's up by 1%. Solana, it's up by about 4%. 6% for Dogecoin, 3% for Cardano, and so on and so forth, right? Things are up a decent amount. It's great to see a lot of green today. But with all of the positions that I hold, if I go over to my portfolio, right now my portfolio, I'll go to watch list, because if I go to my portfolio, you absolutely see everything. But if I go to my watch list, which does include everything that's in my portfolio besides Bitcoin, all of these different positions, I expect to gain a decent amount for it, to where I can essentially see a 100x across the board. Now, this is where the peak value is. This is where I believe that when I get to 100x, I can essentially see, a 60 or 70 million dollar, profit in the end. Now, with that all being said, I would have to pay a ton of taxes. So I would have to cut that in half and say if I had 60 million, 30 million would be what I end up pocketing in the end, right? Which is not bad. It does suck when you think about it. 60 million cut completely in half, 30 million going to the government. It's like, Jesus, the government and the state. But either way, if you're stuck with $30 million, what do you decide to do with it there? And that's the question that I think a lot of people end up leading to is, what do they do with all that money? And honestly, it is really up to you. I think the best case scenario for you guys would be to find any debt that you do have, limit the debt that you do have, try and take away all that debt so that you can live comfortably without having to worry about having to pay somebody back. That's the worst thing for me, is always knowing that I have to pay somebody back. If anything fails, I have to pay this person back. I have to pay this bank back. I have to pay whoever back. It's something that doesn't sit with me well, so I would assume paying off any loans and things that you do have there, no matter what the interest is, would be the best situation for you guys. Then everything else would be based on what you want in life. If you want to value your wants and experiences, then you go ahead and do that. I'm not going to shame you for doing it. But I do recommend that you put some aside. Put some into maybe a long-term, long-standing portfolio, whatever it is, a Roth IRA. At that point, I don't think you contribute that much. But if it's only a one-time thing to where you made that much, it's not necessarily yearly income that you have that much. Now you're just consistently adding into there from the money that you had over that 1 year. So you can essentially do that, as well as have your own dividend account to where you consistently make money from dividends as well as the growth, and you could pocket from that. My plan, as I have, let's say, $3 or $30 million, is to take 3 million of that, maybe a little bit more, I would say 3 million, and put that into my dividend portfolio to where I can essentially pocket somewhere around, $9,000 a month from that on average, which would be fantastic. And then also see the growth of an average of 10% over the year, meaning that every million that I have, I can pocket $100,000, means $300,000 can then go towards my everyday life and spending and all that stuff, which I don't really need that much, as well as the dividend payout. Again, $9,000 per month. So overall, in the end, we're looking at over $100,000 from that alone, which is fantastic. So then overall, we're looking at about $408,000, which again, fantastic to see. Now that's my plan for 3 million of it. Now, what's my plan for the rest of it? I was watching a couple of videos where I hate the fact that any kid, any person is homeless, doesn't have a home, doesn't have a place to stay, doesn't have food to eat, anything like that. I've been in that situation as a kid. I don't like it. I don't like seeing it. I don't like hearing it. But I also don't try and shy away from it because I know being ignorant and ignoring it is a part of the problem. So my plan with that money, whenever it gets to that point, is honestly to have a Mr. Beast style channel somewhere to constantly give away to the homeless, to people that need it, record it so that money or the money from the videos can fund more giveaways and more things, not for the growth itself, but just to help people. I hate seeing people struggle. I really do. This is why I try and donate to No Kid Hungry as much as I possibly can, because they're doing God's work. They're doing the best thing that they could possibly do, which is help out kids, make sure they have a food to eat so that they can have the essentials to move forward and get an education and worry about the things that matter. They shouldn't have to worry about sleeping in a comfortable bed and worry about eating food. They shouldn't have to worry about that. I shouldn't have had to worry about that. And I want to make sure that nobody else has to worry about that either. So I really hope that I can gain a 100x on this. because the more that I have, the more that I can give, and the more that I can record giving so that I can get more to give, because all of that will just go back to giving and back to giving and circulating until that money runs out. And I hope it never does. I hope I'm able to give and give and give until everybody gets the help that they need. Now, I know that there's going to be people that don't want help or don't want to help themselves, but I want to make sure that every kid in this world has the opportunity to succeed. And you shouldn't have to worry about going hungry. You shouldn't have to worry about not being able to sleep in a comfortable, safe bed, in a heated room or cooled room. Like, I want to make sure that kids get the essentials so that they can worry about all of the other things that they need or want in life. So that's my plan for it. Very simple, very simply put, and I hope that there are good people out there that can kind of do the same thing. Not necessarily for the popularity, because I know there are people that just want to do it for the popularity, the same popularity that Mr. Beast has. It's not about that. It's way more about the helping, right? Once you reach to a certain point, there's a level that you can reach. Let's say, for you, if you have $1 million or $2 million, you should never be poor again, right? Or you should never have issues or struggle again, because you have the opportunity of a lifetime to make that money work for you. And I don't think people understand making money work for them, because if it does, you are light years ahead of anybody else in this world. And to say that that's not helping out with society is also wrong. Because when you invest into these businesses, you are now investing directly into the community. Yes, it is a corporation, and depending where that corporation puts their money, it really depends how much of the community it's actually benefiting. But you're still putting money directly back into the economy by keeping it there and holding it as an investment. So it's doing good work for communities, for the economy. And just like working a hard labor job, which I commend anybody for doing that, is doing. This is investing that money back into it and being able to get some sort of benefit for investing that money, right? So anyways, that's my plan. Let me know what your plan is. Let me know if this is a solid plan. It really just hurt me as I saw some of these videos today of people that were struggling, to where this lady received $40, and she said when he walked away, her name was Micaiah. I don't have any type of update, but the guy's name I think was Aiden. Her name was like Micaiah, and she asked him, "Am I real? Do you think I'm a person?" And honestly, the way I interpreted that was like, the fact that you can see me and other people, and they just walk by you and don't care about what you're dealing with, the struggles that you have, the lack of food that you have, the struggle that you're dealing with, even if it is substance abuse or something, you're dealing with struggles and you need help getting by it. And that little bit, that little piece of advice, or that little bit of money, or the response of, yes, I see you, you are a real person, goes a long way. And that could be the difference between her doing something horrible with that money and then doing something good with that money. That could be the difference between her staying in the same spot or changing her life around, right? And I think everybody needs to spread positivity, and I think we will find a way to do that. And I hope that I can gain a lot of money from crypto so I can support my family and know that everything is good there, but then also be able to support the community and be able to help people that are in need. So anyways, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell for more of these videos. Also, make sure you check out any of the links down below. It does help out the channel tremendously. I'll catch you guys in the next video. See ya.